Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we are broadcasting on triathlete.com. We are brought to you by Epson. We are at the Chicago Stop, the World Championships, the ITU World Championship, right in front of Buckingham Fountain, where the gentleman next to me hopes to win his 10th World Championship, Aaron Scheidies. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing pretty good. Just coming off a 20-hour flight from South Africa for a paracycling event. So, but I got a couple days to, get my legs back, and I'll be ready Friday morning.
So, the eye issue that you have is called what?
I have juvenile macular degeneration, so I lose my central vision over time. Stargardt's is the actual name for it, but it's a rare degenerative eye condition that you start losing your central vision over time.
So when you were younger, you had better vision than you have now?
Yes.
And when could you tell that something was wrong?
Well, teachers in my classroom started noticing around second grade, but at that time I was kind of just in the younger years where you're just trying to fit in and everything like that.
And you don't really know.
Yeah, you
don't know what other people are seeing.
I'm still in kind of a little bit of the world that I think I see what everybody else sees, but or they see what I see sometimes. But yeah, mostly in middle school, when the times are tough for many teenage kids.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's when I really noticed it. So.
And were you athletic?
Yeah, I actually was a really good soccer player and always wanted to be a professional soccer player until I started losing my vision, and that became too difficult, and went through some hard times in high school years, and then found endurance sports and triathlon, and that's really what has changed my life.
When you talk about the hard times you dealt with as in high school, was that just relating to other people, or just dealing with the fact that your vision was going away? I'd be pretty angry.
Yeah, it was mostly, like kids would pick on me, and also just I was hard on myself, and I was kind of questioning why this have to happen to me. Why can't I be normal? Kind of that whole why me process, and that was really what made it difficult.
When did you find endurance sports?
Well, I started swimming when I was freshman in high school, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But my first triathlon, which really was kind of a big changing point, was going into my senior year of high school.
And what triathlon?
A little triathlon in Upper Gaylord, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you could tell that there was something different about this sport.
Yeah, just the feeling, I always tell people triathlon's kind of like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop, right?
That is great. I love that.
So yeah, I mean, it's just something about the accomplishment and kind of overcoming that challenge is kind of led me to find ways to overcome other challenges.
So when did you know that you were good at this sport of triathlon? And how long was it before? Did you have to have a guide right away, or was it something you could do on your own at first?
No, I started doing triathlons on my own, not necessarily safely.
Yes.
Back when I started, I was legally blind, but I wasn't as visually impaired as I am now. I did triathlons on my own for a couple years, and didn't too bad, but not really to my potential, probably, because I always had something in my mind that I might hit something.
Yeah.
Even though my parents drove the course the night before, and I memorized everything, both the bike and the run course, and I followed splashes in the swim.
Wow.
And I went the wrong way a few times, even doing that. But I guess the time when I really found that I was good, or had some maybe a future in it, was after 2002 and 2003. I went to the World Championships in the blind vision impaired category, and the competitive competition wasn't that great back then.
Yep.
But I think I started getting better and better, and I noticed that I started was near the top of the able-bodied fields, and that's when I realized that I had a shot to do something good.
I'm imagining, because what's the fastest you've gone for an Olympic distance race? Just to give our people a barometer of where.
1 hour, 57 minutes.
1:57.
Yeah.
Right. And so for a 10K, what's the 10K PR for you?
34.
34. Okay.
Yeah.
So the toughest part for me, I imagine, is finding someone who the hell can stay up with you, right?
Yes.
Someone who can swim, bike, and run with you.
Yeah.
And and also understands that on that day they are yours.
Yeah.
They have to sacrifice their race for you.
Yeah. And that's the thing right now that I deal with is I get people see that I use like a professional like this race. It's going to be Ben Collins. And,
Yes.
And they get this. Well, oh man, why is he using Ben and all that kind of stuff?
Who else are you going to use?
Little do they know that who has a higher power threshold than Ben Collins?
You do.
Yeah. So
Because it's funny. I think people probably go, well, of course he's going to win. He has a pro running with him.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the key is running with him. I can't run with Ben Collins.
Yeah. And so my defense to that is well, if I go with somebody that can put out less power than me, am I not racing to my potential because they're slowing me down then?
Exactly.
So because in the swim and the run, they're just going next to me.
Right.
So they're not influencing anything. So
no, it's just on a bike.
And everybody has the same opportunity to get a guide, equally or better, as long as you can't use an ITU Pro. I mean, it's just within the rules and stuff. So
right.
I'm actually just using what is equal to me, basically.
When you look back, 70.3 races, you've done 9 world championship wins. If you were to pick one race that was your best, what would it be?
I think last year's world championships in Edmonton, I came off in the year before in London. I actually there was a British kid that beat me, and I was just really focused and on a mission, and everything went right. And I really dominated last year, and hope to do something similar on American soil this year.
So, also, to give our viewers an idea, what can you see? What is your vision like?
The best way to describe it really is I just see blurry blobs. I mean, somebody.
I probably look better than to most people.
Yeah, you're beautiful. But you get 5 feet away from me, and I might not be able to tell it's a male or female, but I can see there's a blob there. And so I dodge objects. Some of them move, some of them don't.
Right.
I also, a lot of times, I get around really good, but a lot of times it's because I'm relating to other things that I've known in society, like what it could possibly be, and guessing. So,
for somebody who's been invested in the sport of triathlon since forever, and then we finally get in the para-triathlon, we finally get in the Paralympics, but for some reason, there's certain categories are in and some categories are out, and your category for Rio is not there.
Yeah.
How tough was that for you to hear and to deal with?
That hurt.
I bet it hurt.
Pretty bad, especially for all that I've tried to do to the sport and try to really
encourage.
Become an ambassador for the sport and get people out for the sport, and just also because I don't really understand the Paralympics, I guess, viewpoint on things. There's so many categories in track and field. There's so many categories in swimming. There's so many categories in paracycling, but somehow triathlon only has 5, and we can't even get 5 in. I don't really understand that, but I guess at this point, that's how it's going to be for Rio, and so
maybe it'll change for 2020.
Yeah, maybe it'll change for Tokyo, and so they can have all the categories represented, and maybe even they expand because there is a few categories that need some expansion.
Right, no question about it.
So I think everybody, the PT4 category where there's guys with leg amputations going against guys with arm amputations, I think it's pretty obvious that they could split that category. So
when you found out you're not going to be in paratriathlon, you decided to go to paracycling.
Yeah.
And what is it road race and time trial? What distance and what are you looking to do there?
It's a road race and time trial, but I mean, everybody in the world knows my specialty is the time trial.
Right.
I mean, that's what we do as triathletes. We time trial.
Yep.
And all the cyclists, they think we're, us triathletes, we're not very good at cycling,
Can't control a bike.
But I've podiumed a few times already in cycling, and I got one of the toughest categories in the world. In the tandem category is one of the toughest in the world. So it's funny because now the cycling world, they're coming over and trying to poach the triathletes to go into cycling.
Oh, because you're doing well.
Oh yeah, something. I don't know.
That's funny.
Triathletes can ride now or something.
All of a sudden you can ride. I love it. So what do you have to do? When are the Paralympic trials for cycling?
Well, I mean, like the World Championships this year was one of the races that they look at, and then they do look at the track, the velodrome, but I haven't started on that. I might do a couple races on that, but I mean, I think it's very known that the time trial and the road race is kind of going to be my specialty. And then next year, June 30th in Charlotte, they're actually having the Paralympic swimming, track and field, and road cycling trials all in one weekend. It's going to be great.
I heard that.
Yes,
I heard they're going to put everything
like
in one city.
Extravaganza of para-athletes.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's going to be great.
Well, Aaron, thanks for being such a great role model for the sport,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
for a lot of kids out there, not just blind athletes, but for a lot of kids who feel like they can't be an athlete. You're a living example that sometimes there's roadblocks thrown up, but there's no reason you can't get by them and become the best in the world.
Exactly. Join me on my road to Rio.
Exactly.
That's right.
Road to Rio.
As well as all the other triathletes here, para-triathletes that are on the road to Rio.
It's going to be a great race.
There
And
could
being
be a
in
couple
downtown
slots,
Chicago.
achieved here this weekend.
I love it.
Yeah.
Aaron Scheidies has been our guest. Again, this is Breakfast with Bob. We're at the ITU World Championships in beautiful Chicago in front of Buckingham Fountain. We are brought to you by Epson. We're airing on triathlete.com. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.